students, in today's class we will be solving one illustration problem on admission of a partner for 12 marks. In this question we will look at adjustment number 5, that is adjustment of partners capitals. Question is like this. The question is given in the description box. You can look at that question. So, I will read the question and let us understand the question completely, and then we will go to solve the problem. There are two partners, Mahendra and Surendra, who are equal partners in that firm. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 2017 is given. There are some assets like stock, debtors less provision is there, land and buildings are there, machinery, motor car and cash at bank are there, and the total of asset side is 1,68,000. On the liability side we have creditors, bank loan, then capital account balances are given, Mahendra 80,000, Surendra 40,000, and the liability side total is 1,68,000. Next, on 1st April 2017, Chandra is admitted into partnership for 1/6 share in profits on the following terms. So, they are going to add Chandra as a new partner to the firm, and date is 1 April 2017. Terms are given. First one A, Chandra brings rupees 26,000 as a capital. He is going to bring rupees 26,000 for his share of capital. Next B, goodwill of the firm is valued at rupees 14,000 and it is to be retained in the business. So, here goodwill is valued and to be retained in the business. So, since we are solving this problem as per accounting standard 26, we will not take a goodwill account anywhere, but we will be adjusting goodwill through the capital accounts of partners. For that we need a sacrifice ratio, which we will calculate little later. Point number C, motor car and machinery are to be depreciated by 20% and rupees 3,800 respectively. So, there are depreciation on those two assets, motor car and machinery. Point number 4, prepaid rent rupees 600. So, rent is prepaid, which is not included in the given balance sheet. That means it becomes unrecorded asset, we have to take into account. Point number 5, provision for doubtful debts is to be maintained at 10%. So, there is balance in that balance sheet, debtors are 32,000, already provision is made there at rupees 1,000, and now we have to maintain provision at 10%. So, we have to adjust that also. And the last adjustments, look at point number F, the capital accounts of all partners are to be adjusted in their new profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2:1 based on Chandra's capital. Adjustments are to be made in cash. Prepare revaluation account, partners capital accounts and balance sheet of a new firm. So, this is the question. Let us look at the adjustments. So, the first adjustments will be revaluation of assets and liabilities. Second one will be distribution of accumulated profit or loss and reserves. Third one, capital contribution by new partner. Fourth one, treatment of goodwill, and fifth one, adjustment of partners capitals as per their new profit sharing ratio. So, coming to the capitals, goodwill and ratios, let us understand the problem completely. So, Chandra brings rupees 26,000 as his capital. So, we have to record that in his capital account. Goodwill of the firm is valued at rupees 14,000 and it is to be retained in the business. So, here goodwill is valued at rupees 14,000, that is the value of goodwill of the firm, and we have to adjust it through the capital accounts of partners. For that we need a sacrifice ratio. So, here old partners are Mahendra and Surendra, whose old profit sharing ratio is given, old ratio. Since they are equal partners, ratio is 1:1. Then Chandra is the new person who came as partner, and his share is 1/6. If you look at the last adjustment F, there is new profit sharing ratio given in the problem, which stands at 3:2:1. So let us recall adjustment of goodwill or treatment of goodwill. So this case is, when a new partner doesn't bring his share of goodwill in cash, because in this question only value of goodwill is given and there is no information that whether new partner is bringing his share of goodwill in cash or not. So when that is not given or clearly mentioned in the problem, we will be assuming that new partner doesn't bring his share of goodwill in cash. So whatever be the case, when he brings a new his share of goodwill in cash or not, we need a sacrifice ratio to adjust the goodwill. So we are adjusting the goodwill in order to compensate old partners for share sacrificed by them in favor of new partner. For that we need a sacrifice ratio here. Let us find sacrifice ratio before we look at the adjustment of goodwill. So we have old ratio of old partners, we have new ratio of all partners. So what is the formula to calculate sacrifice ratio? Share sacrificed equals to old share minus new share. Looking at Mahendra's case, let us see his or the share sacrificed by Mahendra. His old share, since they are equal partners, 1/2 minus new share of Mahendra, which is 3/6. So total there are 6, 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6 share, 3 is the share of Mahendra. So 3/6. So 2 and 6 LCM becomes 6, 3 remains as it is. So if you have to convert 2 into 6, you have to multiply by 3. So 3 into 2, 6, 3 into 1, 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0 divided by 6. Then second old partner Surendra, his old share is 1/2 minus his new share is 2/6, that equals to, so LCM is 6, 2 remains as it is, here it comes 3. So 3 minus 2, 1 divided by 6. So the sacrifice ratio here is 0:1, because 0/6 is to 1/6. So it is 0:1. What does it mean? So when sacrifice ratio comes like this, 0:1, that means out of old partners, the first old partner is not going to give any share in favor of a new partner, but only the second old partner is giving his share of profit in favor of a new partner. So new partner's share, this 1/6 has come completely from Surendra. So this is the share of Chandra. Surendra has given 1/6 share. That means new partner Chandra has received complete share from Surendra only. So, when we adjust goodwill to compensate old partners by new partner, we have to take new partner and old partner, that means Surendra only, because only he has given share in favor of a new partner. So, coming to the goodwill here, total value of goodwill of the firm is given, that is 14,000. Point number B, goodwill of the firm is valued at rupees 14,000. Let us find the new partner Chandra's share of goodwill. For that, total goodwill into, we have to multiply his share 1 by 6. That amount comes to 2,333. Since Surendra only has given entire share in favor of Chandra, when we adjust goodwill for compensation, we have to take only Chandra's capital account and Surendra's capital account. We need not take Mahendra's capital account because he has not given any share towards new partner. So, this is the adjustment of goodwill. We will solve this problem as per accounting standard 26 for goodwill. So, after finding out all this information, let me prepare revaluation account. Let us prepare revaluation account. This is the format here. So, look at the terms of admission. Point number C is there, which is relating to depreciation. So, motor car and machinery are to be depreciated by 20% and rupees 3,800 respectively. So, there is depreciation regarding these two fixed assets. Depreciation means decrease in the value of asset, which will come on the debit side of revaluation account. Entry for that will be revaluation account debit to concerned asset accounts. So, the first asset is motor car. Motor car value given in the balance sheet is 8,000 and depreciation is at 20%, that means 20 into 100. Therefore, amount comes to 1,600. Next asset is machinery. Depreciation of machinery is directly given in the problem, that is 3,800. We can directly write it on the debit side of revaluation account. Next, point number 4 D, prepaid rent rupees 600. Prepaid rent, if you look at the balance sheet, given balance sheet, that item is not there, that means it becomes an unrecorded asset. So, for recording an unrecorded asset, entry will be unrecorded asset account debit to revaluation account. So, it will come on the credit side as prepaid rent. Prepaid rent account debit to revaluation account. Amount is 600. Next, point number E, provision for doubtful debts is to be maintained at 10%. So, this provision PDD which is there is in respect of debtors. Look at the amount of debtors given in the balance sheet, 32,000, and there is PDD already appearing in the balance sheet whose amount is rupees 1,000. And point number E says maintain PDD or provision at 10%. So, first we will find out that 10%. Total debtors 32,000 and we have to maintain PDD at 10% on a total debtors. That means 32,000 into 10 by 100, PDD has to be made for 3200 or has to be maintained at a 10%, which amount comes to 3200. But there is already provision made to the extent of rupees 1000. What does it mean? That means 3200 should be there, only 1000 is there, difference we have to create now, that is 2200. So, new provision has to be made in respect of PDD for the amount 2200. So, this is how provision has to be adjusted in the problem. So, we have to increase from 1000 to 3200 by taking 2200 new provision, for which entry will be revaluation account debit to provision for doubtful debts. Provision for doubtful debts 2200. So, we have taken all the adjustments relating to revaluation account. Next we will find the total and balance of revaluation account. On the debit side we have 2000, 5000, 6000, 7600 is there. On the credit side only 600 is there. That means debit side total is greater than credit side total. So, write debit side total 7600. Take that same total to the credit side. From that deduct credit side items. Balance comes to 7000. So, in the case of a revaluation account, when credit side total is lesser than debit side total, means there is a revaluation loss, which has to be distributed among old partners in their old ratio, for which entry will be partners capital accounts debit to revaluation account. Old partners are Mahendra and Surendra. Old ratio we have to take into consideration for distributing revaluation loss. So, Mahendra's share will be rupees 7000 into his share, old share, that is 1/2. So, his share comes to 3500. Surendra rupees 7000 into 1/2. Since they are equal partners, they get equal share 3500. So, total loss is 7000. So, this is revaluation account. After preparing revaluation account, let us prepare partners capital accounts. I have drawn the format. There are 3 partners including Chandra, who is new partner. So, first we have to record opening balances in respect of old partners, which is given in the balance sheet. Liability side, Mahendra has 80,000 capital and Surendra has 40,000. That will come on the credit side as balance brought down. Mahendra rupees 80,000, Surendra rupees 40,000. Since Chandra is a new partner, he does not have any opening balance in his capital account. So, after this we will be recording revaluation loss. We had got revaluation loss in this case. For that we have to pass entry partners capital accounts debit to revaluation account. So, it will come on the debit side as a revaluation account, within bracket you write loss. So, Mahendra's share of revaluation loss was rupees 3500 and Surendra's share of revaluation loss was same rupees 3500. Chandra has not any balance or share in the revaluation loss. So, after revaluation, next we have to distribute accumulated profits or losses and reserves. So, if you look at the given balance sheet, there are no items regarding this adjustment. There is no reserve or any other general reserves, etc. And there is no profit and loss account balance. That means second adjustment is not there. So, coming to the adjustment number 3, that is capital contribution by new partner. In this case, Chandra is new partner and he is bringing rupees 26,000 as his share of capital. So, given in the balance sheet, there is cash at a bank account. So, we will be taking bank account here. Entry will be bank account debit to Chandra's capital account, which comes on the credit side as a bank account. So, this is capital contribution by Chandra, amount is 26,000. Next adjustment number 4 is treatment of goodwill. So, in this case goodwill is valued at rupees 14,000. New partner does not bring his share of goodwill, and there is no goodwill already existing or given in the balance sheet. So, we will be solving this or treating goodwill through capital accounts of old partners and new partner, for which we have to pass this journal entry, that is new partners capital account debit to old partners capital accounts. Here new partner is Chandra. So, entry will be Chandra's capital account debit to old partners capital account. We have to take into consideration capital accounts of all those partners who have sacrificed share in favor of a new partner. In this case, when we calculated sacrifice ratio, Mahendra, he has not given any share, or he has not sacrificed any share in favor of Chandra. Only Surendra has sacrificed his share. So, we will be taking only Surendra's capital account for the purpose of treatment of goodwill. So, here we will be taking only Surendra's capital account. Chandra's share of goodwill was 2,333, that is 14,000 into his share 1/6, and he is going to compensate Surendra only because he has completely that means Surendra only has given Chandra's share completely. Therefore, credit 2,333 to Surendra's capital account. So, this is the journal entry now. Let us pass this entry through their capital accounts. So, debit is given to Chandra's capital account, that means this 2,333 should come on Chandra's amount column on the debit side. Credit is given to Surendra's capital account. So, on the credit side Surendra's capital account should be credited. So, for debit Chandra's capital account, debit amount Surendra's capital account. So, this is for goodwill. Amount is 2,333. Regarding credit, for that entry, credit side the account debited, which is Chandra's capital for goodwill. So, credit to Surendra 2,333. So, this is how we have to adjust goodwill as per accounting standard 26 without taking goodwill account. After this, let us look at adjustment number 5, which is adjustment of capitals as per new profit sharing ratio of all partners. In this case, Mahendra, Surendra, Chandra are partners and their new ratio is given, that is 3:2:1. We have to adjust capitals of all partners according to the capital of a new partner and his share. So, what is the share of new partner Chandra? That is 1/6. And what is the capital balance of Chandra after all adjustments? Let us find out that. See, we have to total Chandra's capital account for that purpose to find out closing balance of Chandra after all adjustment. Credit side we have 26,000, debit side we have 2,333. That means credit side total is greater than debit side total. Write same total to the debit side and deduct that item from total. So, if you deduct 2,333 from 26,000, balance you get is 23,667. So, that will be the closing balance, carried down. Now, we have got a new share of a new partner and his capital account balance, that is closing balance. On this basis, let us find out the total capital of the firm, because question says like that only, adjustment of capitals on the basis of new partner's share and his capital. So, here Chandra new partner has 23,667 capital for his share 1/6. So, what is the total capital of a firm based on his capital and his share? 23,667 into reciprocal of his share, that is 6/1, like this. He has 23,667 amount of capital for his share, that is 1/6. So, what is the total capital? So, that comes to 1,42,002 rupees. Now, what we have to do is divide this required capital in their new profit sharing ratio among all partners, Mahendra, Surendra, Chandra. So, coming to Mahendra, total required capital is 1,42,002 into his new share 3/6, that comes to 71,001 rupee. Surendra, total required capital 1,42,002 into his share 2/6, that amount comes to 47,334, and the new partner Chandra has a capital 23,667. We need not calculate it again, because on the basis of his capital and his share only we have calculated the total required capital. So, he will be having that amount only, that is 23,667 as his capital. So, in this case or cases like this, what we have to do is, first we have to take required capital as their closing amount of capitals, and then we have to adjust. So, when we adjust that, there may we may get surplus capital or deficit capital in respect of old partners. Let us do it. First we will write their required share of capitals as closing balance. So, Mahendra's closing balance should be 71,001 rupee. So, this is after all adjustments, that is why we are recording it as a closing balance. Surendra 47,334 and Chandra 23,667. We have already written that. After this, what we have to do is we have to find the total of debit or credit side, then find the balance. So we will do it for Mahendra first. Look at the debit side total for Mahendra, 71,001, 3,500. We have to take a closing balance also. So in this side we have 74,501 rupees. Debit side we have 80,000. What does it mean? That means when credit side total is greater than debit side total, that means that particular partner has a surplus capital than required. So here 80,000 greater, write that 80,000 on credit side, take that total to the debit side 80,000, deduct debit side items from 80,000. So here we get 80,000 minus 71,001, 3,500. The balance comes to 5,499. So credit side total is greater than debit side total and balance what we get is 5,499. This is nothing but surplus capital. Mahendra should have 71,001 rupee in respect of his capital, but he has more than that. So he can withdraw this surplus from the business. For that, entry will be Mahendra's capital account debit to bank account, surplus withdrawn. Next, coming to another old partner, Surendra. Look at the debit side total for him, 47,334, 3,500 means 50,834. Credit side 40,000 plus 2,333 means 42,333. So for Surendra's case, it is quite different from Mahendra's case. Debit side we have 50,000, which is greater than credit side 42,333. So write the debit side total first, 50,834. Take that total to the credit side, 50,834. Deduct credit side items from that total. So 50,834 minus 2,333 minus 40,000, amount we get is 8,501. So here when debit side total is greater than credit side total means Surendra has a deficit capital. So he has a less amount of capital than what it is required. Therefore, he is bringing a deficit capital in a cash. For that, entry will be bank account debit to Surendra's capital account. Deficit brought in cash or bank. So Mahendra is not going to bring any amount because he has a surplus. Surendra, he is not going to withdraw any because he has a deficit, and in the case of Chandra there is no surplus or there is no deficit. So this is how we have to adjust adjustment number 5, capital accounts of partners as per their new profit sharing ratio. And regarding totaling and finding the closing balances, we have already done it, and then only we have found out a deficit or a surplus. So after preparing this capital account, we will prepare balance sheet. Let us prepare balance sheet as on 1st April 2017 on which new partner Chandra was admitted. We will start with the asset side. Current assets. First item is cash at bank. So regarding the closing balance of cash at bank, we have to calculate it. There is balance worth 14,000. We have to add cash brought in by new partner in respect of his capital, that is 26,000. We have to add cash brought by Surendra for deficit capital, that is 8,501, and we have to deduct surplus capital withdrawn by Mahendra, that is 5,499. Therefore, closing balance at bank will be 43,002 rupees. Next, we will write debtors. Regarding sundry debtors, we have adjustment in respect of provision. So, debtors given in the balance sheet is 32,000. Deduct provision for doubtful debts. Given in the balance sheet, we have 1,000 provision, and when we prepared a revaluation account, we have added some provision, that is worth 2,200, in order to make provision for doubtful debts at 10% on debtors. So total provision now comes to 3,200. Deduct from 32,000, balance you get is 28,800. After that, we will write stock. So in respect of stock, there is no adjustment, as it is value given in the balance sheet we can take, that is 39,000. Next, there is one more unrecorded asset, that is prepaid rent. We will write under current asset prepaid rent 600. After current assets, we have to write investments. So in this problem, we don't have any investments, so nil. Then write fixed assets. Under fixed assets, we have three different fixed assets: machinery, land and buildings, motor car. So first we will write movable fixed asset, that is motor car. There is adjustment in respect of motor car. Value of motor car given in the balance sheet is 8,000. Less depreciation. We have calculated depreciation on motor car at 20%, that means 1,600. Deduct it and write the balance 6,400 outer column. Next is machinery. Machinery value given in the balance sheet is 36,000, and there is adjustment. Less depreciation. Depreciation is directly given in the problem, that is 3,800. Deduct 3,800 from 36,000, amount comes to 32,200. After that, you write the last fixed asset, that is land and buildings. Regarding land and buildings, there is no adjustment. Amount given in the balance sheet is 40,000. Write 40,000 as it is. So that's all about assets on the asset side. Coming to the liability side, first we will be writing current liabilities. First item, creditors, and amount of creditor is 40,000. there is no adjustment. And there is one item, bank loan. So we will be considering or assuming that bank loan is a current liability. That's why we are writing it under that head, bank loan. If you assume bank loan as a long term liability, you can write that under long term liabilities as well. So bank loan amount 8,000. Next, long term liabilities. We don't have any long term liability here. Next, capital accounts of partners. There are 3 partners, Mahendra, Surendra and Chandra. Mahendra's closing balance of capital is 71,001. Surendra's closing balance is 47,334 and Chandra's closing balance is 23,667. So total it comes to 1,42,002. Let us total the liability side. 1,42,200, 2 plus 8,000, 1,50,002 plus 40,000, 1,90,002. On the asset side, we get the same total, 1,90,002. So this is how we have to solve the problem when it has adjustment to 5, that is in respect of adjustment of capitals of partners on the basis of new partners share and capital. In the given description box, there is one more question for your homework, that is illustration number 6, whose answer is given in the brackets there. You have to solve that problem at your own and you can compare the answers. That's all for today's session.